So, Nightreign came out the other day, and I intended to share with you some of the highlights from my first run. However, I am extremely intelligent, and I managed to forget to record all of the audio. So instead, we're going to be running through exactly what happened that day and how everything went wrong. I started off the evening by joining up with my esteemed colleagues, Mr. Rustbucket, who knows everything about the game that I don't, and its Montage, who seems to enjoy being stalked by people with malicious intent. Now, both of them had played before during the network test, but I had not touched the game before as I don't own a PS5. We then quickly found out that Nightreign actually has some really nice quality of life features, such as the ability to just invite people from your friends list into the game so that you don't have to bother with Elden Ring's normal password feature. So after some finagling with Steam, we quickly went into our first game. However, it might have been a bit too quickly, because while I intended to play as this big bird guy, I instead managed to accidentally select this other samurai guy. And so began our run, slightly scuffed from the beginning, with myself as the executor, Rust as Wilder, and Montage as I. Fittingly, we drop in at what would be first step, right in front of a small camp of nobles. We clear it quickly, but even quicker I get distracted by finding out about Executor's running heavy attack, which does this little stomp kicky thing before the slash. After playing with it for a bit, I pick up some weapons from a chest, but immediately discard them. I then notice an item sitting up against a gravestone and think, why not, and pick up a rancor pot. I then spotted a pack of demi-humans nearby and decided they needed to not be nearby, but all I find out is that Executor takes approximately 3 business days to deliver a killing blow. Realizing we'd left Rust to take on the cathedral by himself, we rush to catch up. I throw my rancor pot into the mix and find out that it's had some fun improvements from the original game, exploding before releasing the skull emojis. Afterwards, Rust picks up a stone sword key from a hidden chest behind the altar, and we leave. We head straight to a fort just outside. I find myself stuck on the fence outside it, which does mean it's fulfilling its job perfectly. We spot a merchant on the other side where I bought a smithing stone and upgraded my starting sword, and then we left. We use the nearby spirit spring to climb the cliffs to get to a church, which the others tell me upgrades your healing. As we do so, we get a message that the night is growing stronger. Having not really done anything yet, we decide to take on the dragon up here with us. I'm still level 1, but it should be fine. After all, dragons in Limgrave are normally easy, right? We dive in, and I start scratching away at its leg before activating my ultimate, letting that dog out of me. I swipe away some more at its leg, Rust uses his own ultimate, forcing the dragon to stumble before I jump around it and stab it in the face, knocking it down. Things are going well, the dragon's lost a third of its health, but it decides it didn't like that and demonstrates this by slapping me in the face, killing me instantly. Montage quickly picks me up from a distance with his bow, and the dragon gets some distance, breathing fire at us. Unfortunately, the awkward terrain causes the fire to kill Rust as it bounces off of everything. I try to get to him, but I'm a split second too late, causing him to respawn. This is just the beginning though. While the Grace is nearby, I'm taken out once again by sweeping fire breath, and Montage soon joins me. Rust has just gone back up and gets me up, but we fail to get Montage. We get some more damage in, but once again the dragon steps on my head, taking down Montage at the same time. Rust attempts once more to get me up, but the dragon puts too much pressure on, and I'm on my third death, so it's too much and Montage and I respawn. I rush to grab my runes, but as I get back, Montage is taken out once again by a tail swipe. Before I can even think about reviving him, Rust gets stepped on, and while attempting to get him up, I get my face bitten off. The boss, at this point, resets to its starting point, and we take the opportunity to cut our losses and leave empty-handed. After finally applying my levels, we head for the ruins on the other side of a small ditch. These are inhabited by a bunch of jellyfish and some Zamor heroes we need to take out. When I get there, Montage is already taking one on, and I quickly find another. At this point, I decide I should probably try out my other ability. This goes amazingly, and I am killed almost immediately. The others rush over to try and get me, but are once again just too late and succeed only in shooting me in the butt. Montage falls himself soon after, but I get back in time to help get him back up. With Montage using his ult, we are able to take out the second Zamor hero, but as we do so, the game announces the beginning of the night, and the circle is right next to us. In a panic, we accidentally end up looting the place while trying to find the third hero, but we're too late and are forced to, once again, leave empty-handed. We leg it out of the ruins and up a spring towards where the night's boss is spawning. At the top, we're greeted by a leonine misbegotten, who we try, for some reason, to tear through. But the knight catches up and finishes off both Montage and Rust. I decide there's no chance in getting either of them up through both the rain and under a boss, and leave them to their fate. I arrive at the giant glowing sky tree, and the other two respawn with me. As the pre-boss wave spawns, consisting of a bunch of demi-humans, they decide to try and get their runes back, but neither of them survive the effort. We mop up the remaining demi-humans using my ult, and enter the night boss having failed to clear anything with all of us at level 2. And so the fight begins, against a demi-human queen and a swordmaster. Montage draws the swordmaster over to us with arrows, while Rust takes on the queen alone. Naturally, the problems show up immediately. In my wisdom, I managed to press the wrong button, and instead of using my consumables, drank all of my flasks. Montage fairly attempts to create distance with the swordmaster, but it's blocking all of his arrows. As I attempt to strike it from behind, it immediately utilizes its teleportation to catch up with Montage, meaning I have to spend all my stamina catching up. After it lands a near deadly strike against Montage, I finally take aggro off him, and we take a decent chunk of damage off of it. Unfortunately, while this happens, Rust is taken down in 2 quick hits from the queen. This leaves the queen open to snipe out what's left of Montage's health. Compounding, the earlier excursions of my teammates mean that they're now on all 3 segments for their resurrections. I attempt to pick Montage up while weaving through the boss's attacks, but swordmasters aren't exactly my strong suit, so I quickly go down as well. And thus ended our first night in Nightreign. Now, you're probably thinking that didn't go well. You'd be right to do so, but we learned a decent amount from it. In fact, what you're looking at right now is footage from our second run, where I actually managed to select the correct character and we made it all the way to the Night Lord boss. It just goes to show that, when doing new things, even people like us with thousands of hours of experience at these games each, things can end poorly. So, if you enjoyed that, and perhaps wants to join in, each of us currently regularly stream the game over on Twitch. You can find links in the description. Best of luck to you all, and I will see you next time.